Anyway, I want to get into this. I'm not going to talk anything but S&Ps and VIX before I turn it over to Mike.
I'm still
And
waiting for its introduction.
Oh yeah, it's 11:04 EST. Time for Mike and me. Okay, so yeah, Mike's here, and we're going to get, I'm sure Mike's active on a day like this. I know he has some scalps. I'm interested to see if what people are doing, if they're liquidating, because I see a correction coming, Mike.
Okay.
Okay. And I just want to show people so they learn what the anatomy of a correction is. And look, silver is still up, but I, eked out a scalp of 20 cents. Gold has not turned yet, but really the relative weakness is equities. Last Thursday's action, gave me, it was this, the belief that a correction may have begun because at the last 4 hour, first of all, you had the, nice divergence, which has been going on. Look, you had divergence here too, but on the 4 hour, this was the first one under 70.
No, that was a scar.
So here, then we broke, right? So I said, you know what? We could have a reversal week to the downside if we close under, it was like 52.37 was the 2 week candle right here last week. And so this was my telescope, got me in thinking about that. Then I went to the, just binoculars, which is, 4 hour chart, and we were down here. I said, well, where would you sell a rally? And I said, I don't know, 52 to 52.20 with stops over the high of the move. Okay, so the eclipse was coming, and didn't look like we were going to rally into it anymore. So really, the market peaked Thursday, a few days before, and now we're getting a secondary decline here. To me, what's important is, again, back at the weekly, that if we take out the 9-day here, and that's coming in around 51.5, 51.50. Look at all the air in the market underneath it, like the 5 or 48 over the course of a few weeks, a month. So this is how, and plus we're going to have, I know it's only Tuesday, but if we close under this off number, 52.55, which I mentioned yesterday, maybe would try and rally to 55. You have 2 weeks of 2 week reversals, and some of the darlings are falling apart. If Amazon ever folds, I think the market's in trouble. Anyway, that was part of it. And then last week, even though the market came back huge, it's the first time I saw this in a while. The VIX didn't give anything back. We had this, up week, right? And it didn't give hardly anything back when the S&Ps recovered. It was here, hardly gave anything back. And this too was a 2 week reversal, closed way above the prior 2 week close. That's down here. And I wouldn't be short. And if you're short volatility, I would look to cover, because I think there's a chance we're going to blow to 20 and a half. Above that, there's something wild going on, Anyway, that's it. That's the anatomy of a correction. The VIX on that recovery day on Friday never negated anything. Okay, so, this was the recovery day. Hardly, it was down 30, followed through a little bit yesterday, and here we are. So back over this 1650 level, you'll get to 20. That's what I see in corrections, and I think that this is possibly, you know, pretty close in line with the eclipse. That's it. That's all I got, Mike. So I want to know what people are doing today with the market selling off, and you know, what are people saying about Nvidia? Are people puking it yet?
No, they're buying. Matter of fact, they're buying the Qs below it. They're buying the Q. I'll show you on my screen.
All right.
Share screen.
They're buying calls. Okay.
Here's the chart on Google. There's the daily. There's one make. You know, I don't know. There's one make. They make a pullback. Apple, I posted it on TGH that this was a day where Apple, 9 out of 10 times the past 10 years, it always was up to 1 point. It was up, but you know what? There's rotation. That don't look like it was breaking out yesterday. A lot of the wise guys were buying this thing. But that, you know what? A lot of stocks pointing out the coaches that were acting strong aren't. A&F. Now you want to short it when it's down. I was telling everybody this. This is textbook.
Yeah.
The same thing with Uber. Uber was leading the rally up. Now Uber's been going down every day. CELH was leading the rally every day up. Every day up. Compared to the S&P. Now it can't go. Now they're starting to go to still stock picking. You know, Tesla's bouncing as the other ones are going down. Microsoft is waffling from year high to year low.
Look at Amazon. If it reverses, it's been one of the strongest ones in the MAGAs, and it's diverging up here. If that rolls over, look out.
You know, they're taking stocks like APP that, you know, now they're taking little profits on, is maybe a stock like Adobe that's been beating it up on. They're rotating. This is the chart on Tesla, bouncing. This is a chart on something like Adobe that's bouncing a little bit. All right, so as Amazon takes a break and Google takes a break or whatever, so they move on. Nvidia, now everybody's freaking about Nvidia breaking the 900 or whatever it is, 850 or SMCI.
You know, this rotation, Mike, and people's aversion to selling thing and not buying something simultaneously is, you know, one day that's not going to work. You know, if we go to 4,800 and back to the breakout in the S&Ps, you know, there's nothing wrong with selling things and then just, you know, waiting for things to get cheaper. You don't have to rotate out right away.
So what I look for is when I look over the feeds that I follow, and the predominant posts are the dollar, TLT. You know, I got to watch these macro situations now as we come up into a big number. So I know it's stock picking, but I know underneath I can't be oblivious. You know that the macro situation, at least for the short term, in my opinion, with the VIX, as you point out, Coach, will drive short term stock picking.
Thank you, Mike.
Yeah,
nice coverage.
Yeah. I think you have to listen. You have to be aware. Like I say, it's all a bunch of lines and numbers and letters being quotes, and it's not at this point. It's changing a little bit. You can't be oblivious.
Don't just count your pips, count your blessings.